If we wanted to number all of the music festivals in the world, we probably couldn't even do it, because there are so many of them. But luckily for us, there are some of them that truly stand out. I'm talking about those massive outdoor festivals that simply cannot be missed. So, whether you've seen these for yourself or if you want to add them to your bucket list, here are the 10 biggest music festivals in the world. Stay tuned to number 1 to find out which one has been around for almost 50 years. Number 10. Lollapalooza. This is an annual festival that covers various music genres from electronic and hip-hop to alternative and metal. Lollapalooza was started in 1991 by Perry Farrell. You know him as the lead singer of the band Jane's Addiction, and it lasted for 6 years before coming to an abrupt end. Then, in 2003, the festival was revived with a slightly different concept. It was conceived as a traveling festival, and in the first year that the festival toured the US, it was mildly successful. But unfortunately, not as much as the organizers had anticipated. The next year, the festival didn't happen at all because of poor ticket sales. But then, in 2005, it got revisited again. This time, more than 70 performers were announced, and the new and improved Lollapalooza took place in Grant Park, Chicago. This time, it was a success, and since then, the festival has continued to grow and develop. In 2010, Lollapalooza expanded the globe and now has branches in Chile, Brazil, Argentina, and Germany. Number 9. Sunburn. Sunburn is the largest music festival on the Asian continent, taking place in India. It is an electronic dance music festival and lasts for 4 days. Originally started in 2007 in the Goa region of India, this region was known for its music festivals and events in the 1980s and 90s. At the turn of the century, the wave of electronic parties and events became so big that there was a need for a massive festival of this kind. And in 2007, the first festival was organized, with major headliners such as Carl Cox and Axwell. For the first 5 years, the festival was organized on Candolim Beach, but in 2013 it changed its venue to the city of Vagator. There were more than 120 artists and 7 large stages. In addition to the music, there were also sports events such as football, slippery volleyball, rock climbing, and other entertaining activities. Number 8. Szeged. Szeged, which means island in Hungarian, is one of the biggest European festivals of its type. It takes place in the Hungarian capital of Budapest every August on an island in the river Danube. Szeged usually starts in the first week of August and lasts for 7 days. The reason this has become such an enormous festival is because every year there are more than 1,000 performances. It all started as a student event in 1993, but it surpassed the founders' wildest dreams. Now more than half of all participants come from outside of Hungary, and there are all kinds of activities and specialized stages for different genres of music. A couple of years ago, Szeged entered the top 5 music festivals in Europe, and it also won the European Festivals Awards 2 times as the best European festival. But Szeged Festival didn't stop there. As early as 2002, it spawned a twin festival in Romania called Felszeged, meaning peninsula, and it became the largest Romanian festival of its kind. The organizers of Szeged have even co-created another festival, specifically aiming at electronic music performers, called Bulletone Sound, which is becoming very popular all on its own. Number 7. Ultra Music Festival. This festival targets electronic music, and it's one of the biggest happenings of its kind worldwide. It takes place in March in Miami, Florida. The festival's name comes from the title of the Depeche Mode album named, you guessed it, Ultra. This festival started in 1999, and for the first 7 years, until 2006, it was just a one-day event. But in 2007, as it started to grow, it was turned into a weekend festival. Later on, there were more changes. At one time, it even took place during 2 consecutive weekends. But as of 2014, Ultra Festival returned to its tried and true format of a one-weekend show. From its humble beginnings, Ultra slowly gained popularity. In the first year, there were only 10,000 people in attendance. But the numbers increased every year, and in 2017, around 160,000 people visited the festival. If you think that's not a lot, well, there's also Ultra Worldwide. Started in 2008, it's a number of twin events in countries like Brazil and Chile, South Africa and Singapore, with more than a dozen countries altogether. This fact alone makes Ultra one of the major festivals of today. Number 6. Tomorrowland. Tomorrowland takes place in Belgium, and is one of the largest and most popular dance music festivals around. The first festival happened in 2005, and in just a couple of years, it became a household name. In the second year of its existence, Tomorrowland hosted major performers such as David Guetta, Axwell, and Armin van Buuren. 1 year later, the festival took place during a 2-day period, which was a major jump. And by its 4th year, it skyrocketed as more than 100 DJs showed up, with more than 50,000 people in attendance. As the years moved on, Tomorrowland has gained in popularity, and now it's common practice for it to sell out in a matter of minutes, which is a success all in itself. In 2017, the figures were staggering. Tomorrowland lasted for 2 consecutive weekends and gathered around 400,000 people in attendance. There were dozens of major electronic musician performers creating memorable shows, and now there are twin events called Tomorrow World in both USA and Brazil. Number 5. Bonnaroo. Bonnaroo is a 4-day festival which takes place annually in Manchester, Tennessee. It begins on the second Thursday in June. This festival isn't dedicated to one particular genre of music. On the contrary, Bonnaroo typically hosts all kinds of musical arts, from Eminem and Jay-Z to ZZ Top and even Stevie Wonder. The festival started in 2002 and took the name Bonnaroo because it's a Creole slang for having a really good time. Although that's not its primary goal, this festival is a non-nostalgic throwback to Woodstock and the spirit of togetherness in its basic form. Ever since it started, the audience saw it as a groundbreaking musical event, combining live performances with the best of subcultural events. The famous magazine Rolling Stone honored Bonnaroo Festival by including it in its top 50 moments that changed rock and roll. This festival also promotes sustainability and recycling. And in 2015, Bonnaroo was attended by around 80,000 participants. Number 4. Rock in Rio. This is one of the biggest musical festivals in the world, with millions of people attending it throughout the years. It was originally started in Brazil, but it has since spread to other countries and holds a record of having 1.5 million people the first time it was organized. Every time after that, there have been tens of thousands of people in attendance. The first festival took place in January of 1985. This was a massive event, mainly because some of the greatest performers of the time found themselves at the festival as headliners. These included AC/DC, Rod Stewart, and Queen. There were also many others, with each performer doing 2 shows over the course of 2 days. Throughout the years, the festival attracted the biggest names in the music industry, including Guns N' Roses, Billy Idol, Sting, Elton John, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Metallica, and many others. Taking on a life of its own, it has since branched out to Spain, Portugal, and the United States. It's still going strong. Number 3. Donauinselfest. The Danube Island Festival, as its name could be translated to from German, is a music festival in the Austrian capital of Vienna. According to many people, this is probably the biggest open-air festival worldwide, gathering thousands of people from all over. Donauinselfest always takes place in mid-June. The only exception to this happened in 2008, when the festival had to be rescheduled for September in order to avoid a conflict with the Euro Football Cup. It all started back in 1983, when the city officials wanted to make a festival that would promote the part of Vienna as a nice tourist attraction and recreational place. Their original expectations were pretty modest, as they hoped for no more than 15,000 people. But, in fact, more than 150,000 people showed up, which surprised everyone. After hosting it again the following year, the festival turned into an annual event with around 300,000 people in attendance. Over the years, this festival has grown immensely, and now it regularly attracts more than 2 million people every year. Number 2. Mawazine. This music festival takes place every year in Rabat, Morocco, hosting many performers from all over the world. Along with Donauinselfest, this is tied for the biggest festival in the world. The idea behind creating this festival was to present Morocco as a tolerant and peace-loving nation, and to show Rabat as an open city, ready to communicate with the rest of the world. Mawazine was created in 2001, and the so-called first phase of this festival lasted until 2007. During this period, the festival was dedicated to world music and the heritage of the world's musical traditions. But it experienced some financial troubles, and its future didn't look too bright. But then, in 2008, things changed. The personal secretary of the Moroccan king took over the organization of the event, and the financial difficulties soon disappeared. The festival came out stronger than ever, as it managed to find a great number of sponsors that would help fund and promote. It slowly opened up to other musical genres as well, in an effort to attract more concert-goers than in its struggling years. In 2008, more than 1 million people attended the festival. In the following years, Mawazine has hosted performers such as Alicia Keys, Kylie Minogue, Stevie Wonder, and many others. Number 1. Summerfest. In the world of music festivals, Summerfest is one of the best-known and most popular festivals. It has held this title for a great number of years, and not without reason. Summerfest lasts for 11 days, and it has 11 stages for several hundred performers each year. It was started in 1968 in Milwaukee, and it has been going strong for almost 50 years, which is quite a record. Over the years, the festival evolved and grew in attendance. And if we wanted to talk about all the performers that have shown up throughout the years, it would take us days on end. Some of them include Bob Dylan, Tina Turner, Sly and the Family Stone, the Rolling Stones, Paul McCartney, Eric Clapton, Santana, Johnny Cash, and many, many others. Summerfest sees close to 1 million people every year, and the figures have been growing strong for quite some time. But the festival isn't limited to music, as there are other activities such as comedy acts, family activities, shopping, vendors, and more. With all of these festivals to choose from, let us know which ones you've been to in the comments below. We'd really like you to hit that subscribe button while you're here. Take care now.